Outgoing chairman of CARICOM, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, urges his counterparts to work together to combat the effects of growing nationalism in the world. Dominicans encouraged to do more to promote and support local tourism development. And Attorney Gildon Richards expresses displeasure over the arrest of Claudia Sanford. I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. The details coming up. First up, outgoing chairman of CARICOM, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the grouping would stand a better chance of surviving global challenges like the rise of nationalism if they work closely together. Mr. Skerrit told the 28th Intersessional Heads of Government meeting of CARICOM in Guyana Thursday that's why together they must vigorously pursue those issues that would advance integration.
Mr. Chairman, the rising tide of nationalism across the globe, supported by populist movements, threatens the multilateral system as never before and does not portend well for small states. Further, the concentrated attacks on our economies, whether through the withdrawal of correspondent banking services, listing our countries as non-cooperative tax jurisdictions, or denigrating our citizenship by investment programs, confirm that we are operating in an increasingly hostile international environment. We must prepare ourselves to confront this era of uncertainty in global affairs with a flexibility and innovativeness built on a solid platform of integration, economic cooperation, human and social development, security cooperation, and foreign policy coordination. To do less would be to deny the people of our community the opportunity of living in a viable, prosperous, and safe society.
Mr. Skerrit also thanked his regional colleagues for their concern over recent events following last Tuesday's UWP protest action.
I wish to extend my sincere thanks and appreciation to those leaders who called and otherwise inquired about the social events in Dominica following the rebellious acts of the leadership of the opposition in Dominica 2 Tuesdays ago. This situation at home, I can assure you, is under control, and I expect that a thorough investigation will be carried out in those disturbances with a view to bringing the perpetrators of any and all unlawful behavior to justice. Again, Dominicans, by and large, are appreciative of the interest shown and the solidarity expressed.
Issues being discussed at that meeting include CSME, crime and security, correspondent banking, and trans-border crime. The two-day meeting is also expected to address a roadmap in developing a regional information communication technology or ICT sector. Prime Minister Skerrit is accompanied by CARICOM Ambassador Felix Gregoire. In other news now, prominent taxi driver Augustine Beno Pascal believes the average Dominican can do more in developing tourism on island. He spoke to Channel 5 News on how the tourism sector can grow and called on residents to spend time at various tourist sites. He is also calling on the authorities to facilitate cruise ship calls during the off-season. The cruise tourist season runs from October to mid-April.
I don't know, but I think it would be the best thing if we could have a couple other ships come during the off-season. Yeah, I think that probably would put the icing on the cake. I think that's something, for too long we haven't been in a situation where we have ships coming in the off-season, and I think the authorities probably need to concentrate on getting at least a couple ships come during the off-season, because can you imagine you, for 6 months, you as a taxi driver, you have no other means other than depend on the locals to really earn a living.
Pascal started an initiative dubbed Summer Excursions with Beno Tours to get local tourists more familiarized.
I felt as a taxi driver, not enough Dominican people know our natural side. I have a core of people that will participate, but still it's something that takes a little time because, Dominicans prefer to sit down at their home on a Sunday and watch TV. I normally do those things on a Sunday. I sort of like thinking of expanding it into a situation where I do flyers and present it to the workplaces and stuff. I think that probably is a way that it can take off. But yeah, I've been involved in trying to create employment for myself and at the same time have Dominicans, because like I said a little while ago, too many of us as Dominicans do not know our natural side.
He recognizes that Dominica is an ecotourism destination and supports the idea of establishing a cruise village. On to Carnival now, where National Queen contestant Zethra Barron says gender-related initiatives targeting women are commendable, but she wants to improve on that by involving the men and young boys. Zethra spoke to SMA students on Thursday on gender issues, building on her chosen platform for this year's Carnival Queen pageant. She says her goal is to spark national interest in our men and young boys. Ms. Barron says telling young boys to man up or be a man can sometimes be taken to mean that they ought to bottle up their emotions and limit self-expression. She believes this can have negative consequences on these young men and the wider society.
Are we looking at the results, or what will definitely result from when we tell them bottle it up? Are they going to revert to violence and violent acts? Are they going to start using and abusing illegal drugs? What are we telling them when we tell them to bottle it up? You have to express yourself, and you have to be able to speak to the normal day-to-day person, to speak to your family and tell them how you are feeling. Tell them that I am hurt today, and you know what, I'm falling back in school and I feel that I need a boost. I feel that I need more attention, and I need as much attention as the young woman in the home.
Barron says involving men and boys in the discussion on gender is dear to her, as she has 7 brothers.
And I am from the community of Fort Seja, which predominantly consists of guys, boys, and men. And so it was quite fitting for me to highlight how important it is to empower men in the household and in society. I believe that we should empower them now. We should help them understand that this is a system and I need you. We need you. Society needs you.
And reigning junior Calypso monarch Lamar Irish Kid says patrons can expect dynamic performances during this year's edition of the competition. The 3-time junior monarch, a 5th form student at St. John's Academy, is expected to face 10 competitors in his final year of competition.
Persons can expect me to perform my best as usual, and each year I get more and more experience, so I promise that I'll perform well for my fans and patrons.
His song, You Can Depend on Me, is written by Livingstone Castle.
My song is mostly about I am living a junior monarch, and junior monarch can depend on me, that I will never forget it and we'll always have that bond.
Of course, just to be clear, you're in your final year of this junior monarch.
Yes.
So I guess that's where that song comes from.
Yes.
Okay. Any good memories, precious memories you have of the junior monarch over the years?
Well, my best memories is the crowns that I've won so far, and hopefully might upcoming Friday. As we meet on the stage tonight, whoa, I'm feeling to cry, feeling to cry, feeling to cry, I'm feeling to cry.
The show is scouted for Friday at the Harlem Plaza in Newtown. It's organized by the Leo Club of Dominica. This is Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this. Thanks for staying with us. Attorney Gildon Richards has described the arrest of former UWP Senator Claudia Sanford on Wednesday as part of a witch hunt. Sanford was charged with obstruction and is to return to court on April 28. Sanford was picked up by police for questioning in relation to the UWP's public meeting held in Roseau last Tuesday. Gildon Richards says Sanford was arrested on suspicion of subversion, but by the time they were through questioning him, he was told he was being charged with obstruction.
Obstruction of who? He was informed that he would be charged with obstruction of Superintendent Coffey. Which Coffey? Superintendent Matthew Coffey. Who is Superintendent Matthew Coffey? The head of the CID. Who preferred the charge? A corporal of police, not Superintendent Matthew Coffey. Mr. Sanford prudently posed the question, did Superintendent Matthew Coffey make a report to the effect I obstructed him? And the person who preferred the charge had no answer.
Speaking to reporters Wednesday afternoon, Richards expressed concern over the amount of time Sanford spent at police headquarters after his interview was through. Sanford was reportedly released about 3:30.
The interview ended at midday. Mr. Sanford is leaving now. Why? Just imagine you were picked up on arrest for suspicion of subversion, and you're kept there. They knowing they had no evidence to support the basis of your arrest. And then at this time, 15 minutes ago, you were told, we are charging you for obstruction. A complaint that was never made to us. A charge delegated to a corporal complaining that a superintendent of police was obstructed. That is the absurdity that now pervades the whole of the police administration.
And the DSC Mass Jamboree has gotten a big financial boost from the DFC funds to stage its 7th annual event on Thursday. The February 23 event will be held at the Eddie Andre Carnival City from 5:30 p.m.
It's an event with a difference at Carnival, and we are very happy that the Dominica Festival Commission and the government of Dominica have decided this year to come and support the event in a very big way. And no thanks or no praises can be given to DSC and government for the wonderful contribution they are making. The government and DSC is making a big dent in our budget, a big sponsorship, because sponsorship is a big issue at this time. And again, I want to congratulate them publicly.
The Miss DSC pageant is a much anticipated feature of the Mass Jamboree. It's being seen as an incubator for the Miss Dominica pageant.
All now our girls are in training. And you'll be surprised to see the kind of the way they walk, the kind of talents. We did the talent review on Monday, and I know they are up to par to the higher show. We're not bigger than the Queen Show, please. We are second to the Queen Show. The Queen Show is the show, and we are preparing girls for the Queen Show. According to Val, we are the Queen Incubator, and our show is, as I say, right, this year we have 3 contestants taking part in the National Queen Show. And I want it to be one day that 7 contestants in the National Queen Show will come from Miss Mass Jamboree. And that will happen very soon, because I can tell you, when we interviewed our girl, we had 15 girls we interviewed for the show, and all 15 girls were interested in taking part in the bigger show. And based on the public receptions, I mean, you see our photos out on Facebook, and we had over 25,000 views, over 25,000 views to our photos. So that tells you that the public is very interested in what we're doing.
And the Christian Union Mission Primary School has received assistance in ensuring well-balanced and nutritious meals for its students under its school feeding program. North Carolina NGO Broadreach made a financial contribution to the school to purchase farming supplies.
We're going to help the students to build their school garden, which is going to support their school feeding program. And also we're hoping that it will be integrated into their curriculum. Broadreach now, in their collaboration, they provide the school with US $300, where the school is able now to purchase whatever tools and equipment that they need. And Broadreach supports them by bringing in about 14 students and 2 facilitators, 2 of the coordinators, and they work together. So for the day, we're going to finish up that garden. We're going to be building a composting bin, because our agriculture is really an organic method where we take care of the earth, we take care of the environment by our agricultural practices.
School Principal Natalie Laville says this donation will help provide healthy meals for students while on the grounds.
It's important to me because I realize that, I mean, too many times our children are so filled with all imported food, and then we need to teach them to eat what we grow and grow what we eat. You know, it's very, very important to me. I just love the agriculture program, both animal husbandry and plant production. Where you see our space is very limited, but anyway, I say we can start on a very small scale, and then as time goes on, we will extend. Presently, we are going to focus on vegetables.
Kinfield Massac Primary and Bells Primary School have so far benefited from the involvement of Broadreach. That's news. Kenny Williams is next with your sports highlights.
We kick off with football, where there were wins for Ray Charles Point Michelle, All Saints Football Club and MV Maxon Bombers in the Dominica Football Association's Division 1 League on Wednesday. Point Michelle stated their dominance in their match against St. Mary's Cooperative Credit Union Delta United, winning the game convincingly 5-1. All Saints FC went home with a win, defeating Andy Williams Spartans at Pori Playing Field 2-1, and Haitian Angels failed to show up for their match against MV Maxon Bombers, giving their opponents an easy win. The games continue on Friday with Buster Warner and Mao Soccer Strikers going head-to-head at Newtown from 6 in the evening. In cricket, Marlon Samuels is now cleared to make his return to international cricket bowling following a ban in 2015. The West Indies all-rounder was recently given the green light by the ICC after being banned at the international level for 12 months in December 2015. Back then, his action was found to be illegal for a second time in a 24-month period. Samuels underwent tests on January 29 at an ICC-accredited testing center where the results showed the elbow flex for his off-spin deliveries was within the permitted 15-degree limit. West Indies' next assignment is the home ODI series against England starting from March 3. Meantime, all hopes of Trinidad and Tobago defending their regional Super 50 title crumbled when Jamaica piled on a record 434 runs, the highest total in the tournament, to win by 292 runs on Wednesday. The winners were first at the crease with centuries from Chadwick Walton 117 and Jermaine Blackwood 108 not out. Rovman Powell added 95 and Stephen Taylor 88 to help bring their team to 434 for 4. Set 435 for victory, TNT was bowled out for 142 in 26.3 overs. The highest total by a TNT batsman in that match was Jason Mohamed's 62 not out. With this semi-final win, Jamaica has booked the first spot in the final of the Super 50 competition. Sports continues with this item, where newly elected Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Cricket Association, Augustine Beno Pascal, has a new strategy for improving the body's ability to disseminate information moving forward. Pascal was elected into the position at the association's recent annual general meeting.
Over the years, I've noticed a sort of suppressing of information, not enough information. In terms of the way games have been played on island, you find situations where you have finals, and to me a final is supposed to be an achievement for the people that get to the finals and the administration of their year of success. And so I think basically things are supposed to be an event. We were able to get a Facebook page up and running because it had been dormant. I mean, there was no other way you could find information about Dominica Cricket Association as to what they give.
He says another area of concern is repairing the relationship between cricketers and administration.
The other thing that I'll bring to the table is to restore the image of the Dominica Cricket Association to the public. I think there has been a perception out there of you know, the camaraderie or the interface with cricketers between cricketers and the association. I plan to change that because I don't think that can continue. I think everybody has to be an integral part of the cricket and get it excited so people can participate. And once people start to participate, then it will open doors. It will open doors for more sponsorship and things of that nature.
More public awareness through the use of media is also on the agenda.
I also plan to introduce, I've already mentioned it at my first meetings, that every tournament that we know, we have under 15s tournament, we got women's tournament, we have test matches and stuff. I'd like to see every time we have a tournament of any sort that it will be launched as like a press conference. The tournament will be launched as a press conference. These are some of the things I'll definitely try to push. I can't make any promises because, you know, we are going to be a body. It's not me alone, but I can promise the general public, which is what I have criticized in the past, that I will try my very best to bring that to the table of a very different kind of environment for cricket.
Back with more cricket, where the Massey Insurance Secondary School's Under-20 cricket competition organized by the Sports Division continues on Friday with 2 matches. At Botanic Gardens, Lead Institute will be hoping to recover from a miserable run in the competition so far when they take on Isaiah Thomas Secondary. Over at Windsor Park Sports Stadium, St. Mary's Academy will go head-to-head with Goodwill Secondary. Both matches begin at 10 in the morning. On to international cricket, we can tell you that Afghanistan defeated Zimbabwe by 12 runs via the Duckworth-Lewis method in the first one-day international on Thursday. Afghanistan took first knock and made 215. In reply, Zimbabwe reached 99 for 4 in 27.2 overs. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Be sure to join us next time.
We now join our friends at the Met Office for the weather report.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Annie Coretta Joseph. A weak high-pressure system was the dominant feature across the region today, resulted in a relatively dry atmosphere. Visible satellite imagery showed few low-level clouds over Dominica throughout the course of the afternoon, resulting in fair to partly cloudy skies. Radar image indicated minimal shower activity over the Lesser Antilles. Conditions for tonight, fair to partly cloudy with a few isolated showers, and these weather conditions are expected to continue into tomorrow, Friday. Sea conditions, moderate in open water with waves up to 8 feet. Northerly swells are expected to affect the west coast during the next 24 hours. Therefore, all users of the sea and persons in coastal areas, you are advised to be vigilant and to exercise extreme caution. Taking a look at the next 3 days, fair to partly cloudy skies with some few isolated showers can be expected on Friday and Saturday. However, on Sunday, an increasing cloudiness, partly cloudy to cloudy, with a few scattered showers. Across the region tomorrow, the northern and central portions of the chain will enjoy fair to partly cloudy skies with a few isolated showers. However, the extreme southern portion will experience mostly cloudy skies with some scattered showers. On the international scene, clear skies in New York and in Beijing, partly cloudy skies in Miami, London and Caracas, and some cold temperatures will continue to affect New York, London and Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:29 a.m. and set at 6:10 p.m. For up-to-date information, log on to our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and join us next time. Good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. Outgoing chairman of CARICOM, Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, urges his regional counterparts to work together to combat the effects of growing nationalism in the world. Dominicans encouraged to do more to promote and support local tourism development. And Attorney Gildon Richards expresses displeasure over the arrest of Claudia Sanford. Feel free to contact us at news@mapping2k4.com. You can also access the news on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. To our viewers around the world, thank you for watching.